Today I'll demonstrate the fishbone stitch, which is often used for leaves. So if we look at a floral piece here, compared to the flat appearance of this satin stitch leaf, the fishbone leaves have just a nice feathery texture to them. So that's what we're going to replicate today. Oftentimes when doing a fishbone, people will just draw the outline of the leaf or maybe the outline with a center line down the center. But I find that it's more helpful to me if I make either angled lines or straight lines across the leaf to just help me with my spacing to keep things even as we go down. Because keeping an even center spine and even angled stitches is what can make a fishbone nice and tight. So that's why I've drawn this here. We're not really going to follow the angle, it's just to help me eyeball the spacing better. And a fishbone is basically a series of straight stitches that overlap the center line of the leaf. So first, we are going to come up here at the very tip of the leaf. And we're just going to make a straight stitch that goes down about a usual stitch length. And I'm making that straight stitch right down the center line of the leaf, just straight. And from there, we're going to start our angled stitches that are going to cross over the center line. So I'm going to come up just to the right of the start of that first stitch. And I'm going to come down. I don't want to come to the center, I want to cross over the center. And so I'm going just to the left and just below where I made the end of that first stitch. So it's a pretty subtle crossing over at first. I'm going to do the same thing from the other side, coming just to the left. My first stitch, and then crossing over so that I am trying to be equally on the other side of the center line and at an equal horizontal spacing as where I ended my second stitch. And we're just going to keep going back and forth like that, alternating sides. So I'm going back on the left here. And every time I'm kind of staying the same horizontally left to right to be on either side of the center line with my stitches. And I'm just moving a notch down. And you'll see how these start to basically fill in and hide the stitches before them as they go. And you can see that, like I said, I'm not really following the lines that I have on there so much as just using them to help me stay even, because depending on how big your leaf is, it can be easy or difficult to eyeball your stitch locations. So you can see the texture that it starts creating, where it starts to form kind of a shadowed center line. And we're not doing anything other than alternating to create that line. This leaf is a little asymmetrical. You can use this stitch on something that is perfectly symmetrical or a bit irregular. And the bottom, the attachment part of your leaf, might really vary from pattern to pattern. So as you get towards the bottom, just continue filling in with stitches from each side so that it will hide the tails of your previous stitches and fill in the shape that you desire for your leaf. So you can see it's a very simple stitch, just alternating straight stitches that cross over the center line. And that's it for the fishbone stitch. Thanks for watching.